What if I told you that something your child does with their eyes during a simple moment of play could be one of the earliest warning signs of a developmental difference? And what's even more unsettling is that these signs are often so subtle, so seemingly insignificant that most parents and even some professionals don't notice them at first. They get dismissed as personality traits, shyness, or just being a late bloomer. But here's the truth that every parent needs to hear. Early detection changes everything. When we recognize these signs early and provide appropriate support, we can dramatically improve outcomes, enhance communication skills, strengthen social connections, and help children reach their full potential. Today, we're going to talk about early communication and behavioral signs that may appear between 18 months and 2.5 years of age, and how you can gently observe them at home without panic, without jumping to conclusions, without labels, and without fear. This is about empowering you with knowledge, not creating anxiety. Before we continue, I need to be absolutely clear about something important. This video is not meant to diagnose your child. Only qualified professionals like developmental pediatricians, child psychologists, or developmental specialists can make an accurate diagnosis after comprehensive evaluation. This video is about awareness, observation, and early support because when support comes early, outcomes can change dramatically and meaningfully. Before we begin, take 1 second to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment yes below if you deeply care about your child's development and want to stay informed about important developmental milestones. Your engagement helps this message reach thousands of other parents who truly need this information and may be searching for answers right now. Let's begin with something very simple but incredibly telling: eye contact during play and communication. Sign 1. Eye contact used for communication. The best time to observe meaningful eye contact is not during forced interactions, but during natural, playful moments. This is when children's true communication patterns emerge most clearly. Try this simple test at home when your child is relaxed and in a good mood. Sit on the floor with your child and their favorite toy. A car, a ball, or any toy they love works perfectly for this. Roll or push the toy back and forth together, creating a fun, engaging rhythm. Build up the anticipation and excitement. Then suddenly, without warning, stop. Don't explain why, don't prompt them, don't say anything. Just wait and observe carefully what happens next. A child who uses eye contact for communication will usually follow this pattern. They'll look briefly at the toy, registering that the fun has stopped. Then, and this is the crucial part, they'll look up at your face, making eye contact as if asking, "Why did you stop? Do it again. Keep playing with me." They may say again, more, or make a sound while looking directly at you. Some children will even reach out and touch your hand or the toy while looking at your face. This is exactly what we want to see. Your child is using their eyes to connect emotionally, to request continuation, and to communicate their desires and needs. This demonstrates what's called joint attention, the shared focus between two people on an object or activity. But if your child becomes upset without looking to you for help, fixates intensely on the toy without any social referencing, cries or stares blankly at the toy without looking up at you for assistance or connection, or simply gets up and walks away without any attempt to re-engage you, that can be concerning. Why? Because eye contact is not being used as a tool to re-engage socially or to communicate needs. By 18 months, children typically use eye contact consistently and purposefully to share excitement about discoveries, express emotions both positive and negative, ask for help when they need it, show you things they find interesting, and check your reaction to their actions. If this isn't happening consistently in multiple contexts throughout the day, that's sign number 1 to take note of. And remember, this is crucial. One sign alone does not mean autism. It simply means something worth observing more carefully and potentially discussing with your pediatrician. Sign 2, pointing without checking your reaction. Now let's look at shared attention, which is one of the most important early social communication skills. Take your child's favorite toy, something they're really attached to, and show it to them to build interest. Then place it across the room, just out of their reach, but clearly visible. Make sure they saw where you put it. Then ask with genuine curiosity in your voice, "Where's your toy? Can you find it?" What you want to see is this pattern. Your child points toward the toy, which shows they understood your question and can use gestures to communicate. But here's the critical part. Then they look back at you, checking if you're looking too. sharing this moment of discovery with you. That back and forth pattern, pointing then making eye contact to ensure you're paying attention, shows shared attention and social referencing. It demonstrates that your child wants to share their experience with you, not just get the object. However, if your child walks straight to the toy without any social referencing, or points without looking back at you to see if you're engaged, or retrieves the toy without any attempt to share the moment, they may be missing that crucial social sharing piece. The goal for them becomes purely functional, getting the object rather than social, sharing the experience with you. That's sign number 2, and it's significant because shared attention is foundational for language development and social learning. Sign 3, limited use of gestures. Gestures are one of the earliest and most important forms of language and communication. They actually develop before spoken words and predict later language ability. By 18 to 24 months, children usually demonstrate a rich repertoire of communicative gestures, including pointing at things they want or find interesting, waving hello when someone arrives or goodbye when someone leaves, clapping when excited or to show appreciation, raising their arms up to be picked up when they want comfort, shaking their head yes or no to indicate preferences, blowing kisses, and showing you objects they find interesting. If gestures are rare, significantly delayed, or only happen when heavily prompted by adults, that's important to note carefully. But equally important, and this is something many parents overlook, is whether they respond to your gestures. This reciprocal aspect of communication is crucial. When you wave, do they wave back with any consistency? When you smile warmly at them, do they smile back, sharing that positive emotion? When you open your arms wide in invitation, do they come eagerly for a hug or connection? When you point at something interesting, do they follow your point and look where you're indicating? If these reciprocal gestural communications are consistently absent or very limited, that's sign number 3, and it's one of the most significant early indicators. Quick check-in here. If this information is resonating with you, if you're finding this helpful, please like the video and comment yes so I know you're following along and finding value in this content. Sign 4, not responding to their name. This is one of the most commonly reported early signs, but it needs to be tested properly and calmly. Here's how to do this assessment correctly. While your child is focused on play or an activity they enjoy, position yourself behind them or to the side so they can't see you. Call their name softly in a normal tone, not shouting. Wait 7 to 10 full seconds. Don't repeat immediately. Give them time to process. Call again with the same gentle tone. By the second or third call, most typically developing children will pause their activity and look toward you, or at least turn their head. If this doesn't happen consistently across different times of day and different situations, first and most importantly, rule out any hearing concerns with a proper hearing test. Never assume anything without ruling out medical causes first. If hearing is normal and responses to name are still rare or absent, that's sign number 4. The lack of response isn't about hearing, it's about social orientation and the understanding that their name is important social information. Sign 5. Delayed language or limited back and forth language development varies enormously between children, but there are general patterns to watch for. By 18 months, many children use at least 3 to 10 meaningful words besides mama or dada. These might be approximations, not perfect pronunciations, but they're used consistently with meaning. By age 2, we typically expect 20 to 50 words minimum, and children are beginning to combine words into simple 2-word phrases like more juice, big dog, daddy go sounds, or want cookie. But here's what's equally important as the number of words. Notice how your child communicates overall. Does it feel like a conversation even if it's simple? Do they pause when you speak, showing they're listening? Do they respond back in some way, whether with words, sounds, or gestures? Do they take turns in the interaction? If communication feels consistently one-sided, like you're talking at them rather than with them, or if it's very limited with minimal back and forth exchange, that's sign number 5. Communication is about connection, not just words. Sign 6, not sharing excitement. This is about something called social referencing and joint attention. Watch carefully what your child does when they discover something exciting, unexpected, or new. Maybe it's a toy they love, a bug crawling on the ground, a bird in the yard, or something that captures their interest. Most typically, developing children will bring it to you to share the discovery, look at your face repeatedly to see your reaction, point to it while looking back and forth between you and the object, or make sounds or say words while ensuring you're paying attention. They want to share the moment with you. The joy isn't just in the discovery, it's in sharing that discovery with someone they love. If your child consistently plays alone without seeking your attention, drops interesting items, and walks away without trying to share, doesn't seek your reaction to their discoveries or accomplishments, or seems to experience joy in complete isolation, that's sign number 6. This lack of social sharing can be one of the most significant early indicators. Sign 7, limited pretend play. Between 18 months and 2 years, pretend play typically begins to emerge, and it's a crucial cognitive and social milestone. You'll see children feeding dolls or stuffed animals, making cars go vroom while driving them around, putting toys to bed, pretending to talk on a phone, using objects symbolically like a block becoming a phone, and assigning roles or voices to toys. This imaginative play shows abstract thinking and symbolic representation. If play stays very repetitive, very rigid, with activities like lining up toys in precise rows repeatedly, spinning wheels on cars for extended periods, focusing on parts of objects rather than the whole, or showing no imagination or flexibility in play, that's sign number 7. The play lacks the as-if quality that characterizes pretend play. Sign 8, rarely copying actions. Children learn by imitation. It's one of their most powerful learning tools. Watch for whether your child copies simple actions like clapping when you clap, waving when you wave, brushing their hair when they see you brush yours. Pretending to talk on the phone like you do, copying simple actions with toys, or imitating animal sounds. If your child rarely or never copies simple actions spontaneously, that's sign number 8. Imitation is how children learn social behaviors, language, and cultural practices. Sign 9. Persistent, repetitive movements. Some repetition in toddler behavior is completely normal. All toddlers sometimes engage in repetitive actions. But notice the frequency, intensity, and context. If movements like hand flapping when excited or upset, body rocking back and forth for extended periods, spinning in circles repeatedly, walking consistently rather than occasionally, or repeating the same action or phrase over and over happen daily, persist over many months, increase in frequency, interfere with other activities, or seem beyond the child's control, that's sign number 9. These are called stereotyped or self-stimulatory behaviors. Sign 10. Difficulty regulating emotions with support. By this age, toddlers still have big emotions, and that's completely normal and developmentally appropriate. Tantrums happen, meltdowns occur, but notice the pattern carefully. Can your child eventually calm down with comfort from you? Do they seek you out when they're overwhelmed, or do they isolate? Does your soothing presence help regulate them over time? Can they be distracted or redirected when upset? If emotional regulation rarely improves even with consistent support, comfort, and appropriate intervention. If meltdowns are extremely prolonged, if your child cannot be consoled by anyone or anything, or if they seem to escalate rather than gradually calm, that's sign number 10. Here's what I need you to understand. Seeing 1, 2, or even several of these signs does not automatically mean your child has autism. Many developmental differences can present similarly. Some children are late bloomers, some have other developmental delays, some have hearing issues, some have been through trauma, and some are just temperamentally different. But early awareness can be absolutely life-changing. Early support and intervention strengthen communication skills dramatically, improve emotional regulation, enhance social connections, maximize learning potential, reduce challenging behaviors, and improve long-term outcomes across all areas of development. The earlier support begins, the better the outcomes. This is supported by decades of research. If you're seeing several of these signs consistently, don't panic, but don't wait either. Trust your instincts, talk to your pediatrician, request a developmental screening, ask for a referral to a developmental specialist if needed. Seek early intervention services in your area. Early action is not overreacting, it's being proactive and advocating for your child. Before you go, please do 3 things. Like this video so more parents can find this information, subscribe to this channel for more content about child development, and comment yes if you want more videos like this covering important developmental topics. Your attention today could make a profound difference in a child's tomorrow. Remember, you are your child's best advocate. Trust yourself, stay informed, and never hesitate to ask questions or seek support.